Hello and welcome back to our web development series. In today's tutorial, we will be creating a service section for your portfolio website using Bootstrap5. If you're a beginner or you just landed on my YouTube channel, we've done quite some codes previously building this section. So you can check the previous videos in the playlist so that you can follow up. If you're a beginner, don't worry. We'll go through each line of code step by step. That by the end of this video, you have a sleek service session that invites potential clients to connect with you. Let's dive in. First, I want to give you an overview of what we'll be building into this section. We'll be building this service section of the portfolio website. So let's go straight to where we have, that's after our card section, because in the last video we did the card section. So for the service section, you're going to notice that we have a container. We have a container carrying all of these elements, and we still have another inner container. You can see as I highlight them, they show up. We have another inner container with text. We'll still have a row, like if you look at the row, it's like two rows. Do you need my service and contact me, arranged inside this container. So inside this row, inside the row, we have column, where we have our first element as the first text here. Do you need my service? And we have underneath it, we have a button with contact me. So let's go straight into the video and build together. So we're going to have a section for this service. The first thing we want to do is create a full width container with a fluid layout and a blue background, like you can see here, to make our service section stand out. We are also setting the text color to white. We are centering the content within the container. So let's start coding. All right, so you can guess from the previous videos we have done that the first thing we need to do is create a div of container fluid. The entire idea is just for responsiveness. Let's give it a margin. A padding. Let's give it a padding because we want some spaces around it. 5. Also my keyboard. Okay. And we want to give it like bg info. We want to give it bg info. We also want to give text white and text center. So the entire idea of this bg info is that it sets the background to Bootstrap redesigned info color. So it sets the background to this blue color here. So let's do the text center, and so do the text center. And we give it text of white. My keyboard is acting up, but it's all good. Text white. So press enter. Now we have a div container for our service section. So should I briefly again go over what the line of code is doing? So this container fluid is a class for a full width container extending the full width of the viewport. This py5, what it does is it adds padding on the top and below to provide space around the content. So the 5 is just simply 5 units. That's by 5 units. I already told you what the bg info is doing. The default color for Bootstrap, which sets the background of this section to blue. We know what the text center is doing to make our text to get centered, right? And then for white, you are setting the color of the text that will be inside this container to white. So now let's move on to the inner container and the text. Okay, so inside our main container, on line 141, as you can see. We create another container with a smaller width and set the font size to H5 for better readability. So let's create another container, div.container.h5, and I'm going to press enter. Now we have another container for what we just stated the properties for. You know what container is doing? It's a class for fixed width container. It's making the content more readable and centered. And for the H5, we are just setting the font size to Bootstrap's predefined heading size 5, making it, a little smaller. So now the next thing we want to do, like I highlighted in the overview, we want to create a row, that will hold, do you need my service, and contact me. So we have rows and column. So we have a row that holds these two, and we now have column that takes, okay, do you need my service, contact me. So now we use, what do we use to achieve this? Yeah, you get it right. Now we use the grid system to create two columns within our container on line 142. So one column for the headline and another for the contact me button. Okay, so I want to create a div with a class of row. Yeah, so I want to create a div class of row. That's the row I'm creating. Then inside this row, inside the row, we want to have column that will hold these two contents here. So I'll create a div class of column. Okay, and like we said, MD6, medium size screen, and all of that. I'll explain it in a bit. So I'm going to press enter. Okay, and this will take my first element, do you need my service? So I'm going to go back to the portfolio we're building so you see what's going on. Okay, it will soon appear. Okay, it's already here. So we even have the big background already showing. So we need some content so you see what's going on. So I'm going to use a H3 title, so it's slightly bigger than the contact me. So I'm using a H3 title. Press enter. Do you need my service? Do you need my service? Question mark English. All right, so you see now it appears here. This text has inherited whatever is going on in the main parent container, where you have text center and text white. That's why you have all these attributes added to it already. So what do we now do next? We want to create the second column that will hold the button, right? Amazing. And we know that it's in its own container. So we are going to create another div. So divs are just a good way to have, containers. Oh, apologies, not here. I don't want it inside the do you need my service? Okay, yes, on line 146. So I'm creating another div with column. Then no, I have dots. Oh, okay, hyphen MD hyphen, just like what we did before. That's just what we're doing. So I'm going to press enter. So how do we now have buttons? You notice that this is like a link tag. So we need to use our A tag, and give it a class of button in Bootstrap. So it's usually BTN. So I'm going to start with a.btn hyphen. I want to outline the button to light, like you see this border, this white border. So that's what I'm trying to achieve. So btn outline light. You see what this is doing pretty soon. Border to 3. Okay, and because it's a link, okay, let's press enter first. Okay, all right, I have to redo that so it shows up. Okay, press enter. Now we have our A tag. So for our href, we want to, well, no, it's not leading anywhere, but if you choose, there's like a target. So when they click whatever is inside here, inside your A tag or your button, it takes them somewhere. So maybe you have a list of you have a contact page, you can add it here to the href and takes them to contact page. Well, but now let's just give it a content. It's coming up pretty nicely. You can see it. Yeah, it's coming up pretty nicely. Yeah, let me zoom that in so you can see it. So amazing. So I have a contact me. Good, this is cute. So yeah, we have it inside its own div. So there you go. Let me explain what is going on in this part of the code. Like I said, I would. So this row here is just creating a row to hold our columns, and the column MD6 is creating two columns. Like you see, it's highlighting two columns. So each is taking half of the available width on medium size screen. So like I told you, Bootstrap grid system has 12 columns. So when you say half of it, that's 6. So it's taking like half of the available width on your medium screen. Okay. So are we done? Let's go back to that page to see if we are done, because we're making reference here to what we will be creating. Let me see. Okay. All right. Okay, so I want to explain this part of the code. I think I even explained it, but let me do it again so that you can follow through. So we have like a heading. You already know this, like a H3 title. You know what that is doing. It's a heading tag with level 3. So it's indicating a subheading or smaller heading. Yeah, this stuff right here. Let me go back to what we created. This stuff right here. So it's a heading title. So it's indicating a subheading or smaller heading. So for our contact me button, this button here that you see that I'm highlighting, we added this button so that visitors can click it to contact you. So the button is styled using Bootstrap classes for a clean, modern look, and we used a tag. Yes, we used a tag to as an anchor tag to create like a hyperlink. So for the btn outline over here, what's going on is that we set it to light, right? Okay, good. So it outlines the button with a light background. You can see it outlines the button with a light background. So what the border 3 is doing is that, just like it's literally saying, add a 3-pixel border to my button, please. That's what it's just saying. I like to call this in commands. So what the href is doing is that it's like an empty. So in this case, it's empty. I told you can put anything so that you can lead when your users click, it leads them somewhere. But in this case, it's an empty href attribute. So as we'll customize it later with your contact page link, so as you wish to. So let me go back, bring this down. There you have it. Hey, who's excited? You built this, guys. So you just created a stylish service section for your portfolio website using Bootstrap5, and it's quite responsive. So let's go. Let me do that again. The Ctrl+Shift+I for developer options. So let me get rid of this. So you see that it's quite responsive. I need to enlarge this for you. Ctrl+Shift+I. So you can see that it's quite responsive. Where do we have our responsiveness? Where is my responsiveness? So it's quite responsive. So when I shrink to a smaller screen, you see how the whole thing comes together. There's usually like okay, let me click here. Okay, it shows up now. So it's responsive. I drag and everything auto adjusts to the screen size. You can see your service section. Even if I try to go smaller, you can see that your service section still tries to adjust to the screen size. So you should feel free to customize this content and colors. You don't have to like do exactly this. So you can customize the colors, the content, let it match your personal style. So if you found this tutorial helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more web development content, and hit the notification bell. If you need a personal tutor, I'm a go-to tutor. You can see that I break down this concept so easy that you understand it. I took a poll the other time and I got a lot of responses. People are like, okay, this is beginner friendly. We like to see more of this. That's why I continue to see it. So thank you for watching.